If you're anything like me, when you perform a card trick for the first time, there's always like a little doubt in your head of, oh, what if I mess up and people laugh at me? Idiot, butt face, hobo, hairy butt face, sad little man. But what if I told you you could reverse the roles and have the spectator perform for you? And obviously don't call her a butt face if she messes up. That may not go over well. But let me show you what I mean. You select a card, the spectator loses it in the deck, they deal off some cards to try to find your card, they mess up, and then you swoop in to save the day. Now that's magic. Alright yo, so check it out. For those of you who are curious, by the way, these are If an Octopus Could Palm playing cards. Apparently very expensive, which I should have, if I only knew before I opened them up, my life would have been great, but I just never knew. We're gonna do something different here. Instead of me doing the card trick like I always do, I'm gonna hand it over to you, the spectator, and you're gonna tell me about this card trick. So first, let me actually tell you what's gonna happen. You're gonna have me select a card, so let's go through that right now. And I'm gonna select a card, let's say this card right over here. I have my card memorized. Now you're gonna ask me to put it back into the deck, and I shall, like you said, put it back into the deck randomly and push it all the way in. Now you're gonna square up the deck, being the spectator. All right, so that's completely fair. I selected a card, I looked at it, we lost it somewhere in the deck. Now to make it even more fair, I'm gonna ask you, right, you're technically the performer now, I'm gonna ask you, do you mind if I shuffle the deck? And of course you'd say yes, because any magician should let a spectator shuffle up the deck as long as they have nothing to worry about, right? Right? All right, so here we go. Now the deck has been shuffled, the card's lost somewhere in the center. I don't know where it is, you don't know where it is, but it's somewhere in here. This is what's gonna happen. Since you're the performer at this point, well, let's ask someone else in the room to name a number between, let's say, 10 and 20, okay? Between 10 and 20, and you're gonna deal off that many cards. So let's just say someone sets the number 12. So now you deal off 12 cards, the next card should be my selected card. That's why it's so magical. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. The next card, like I said, my card was the 8 of spades. Okay, so check this out. Next card should be my card. That's not right at all. Now you know what it feels like to be a magician and mess up. So let's put that back. Let's try this out one more time. Let's have someone else name a number between, let's say, 20 and 30. So you ask anyone else to name a number. Let's just say someone says, I don't know, 23. So now we're going to deal off 23 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and 23. Look at the next card. This should be my card this time. What was my card? 8 of spades. That's not it. That's not it at all. Okay. You know what? I think you're done. We're done. You're no longer the magician. The magician powers come right back to me now. Let's see. So what numbers were picked? The 12 and 23. What's the difference? 12 and 23? 11 is the difference between them. Check this out. Magic powers. 11 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And the next card is my selected 8 of spades. We did some good work. Boom. It's all magic. What up, crew? It is Magic Monday, and this is your place to learn magic, master your performance, and captivate audiences. The card trick I just shared with you is known as Spectator's Card Trick from the Royal Road to CardMechanic, and a lot of what happens literally is done in the spectator's hands. During the tutorial, I'll talk about how we can have a bit more fun with the spectator, because ultimately, since this trick is fairly simple, it comes down to how you're performing it and how you're conveying the effect. So that being said, before we get started, make sure you smash that like button, hit subscribe, get ready to share with all your friends. Now grab your favorite deck, and let's do it. Tutorial time. You know, the more I've been doing magic, the more it's become of a let's do this together versus I'm the performer, I'm going to perform this for you. I have a lot more fun when you get to interact with a spectator and kind of have a back and forth going, make it a bit more interactive. And I just feel like the spectator has a better experience in doing all that. So that's really kind of where I've shifted some of my card magic to, which I feel like is a lot more fun. So this is what this trick is about. Now, that being said, let's break it down. All right, first things first, so when you start this card trick, you take the cards out of the tuck case and you memorize the top card. Now, there are a bunch of different ways to do this. Obviously, just don't flip over the top card, look at it, put it face down, and then be like, all right, let's do this card trick. Now, I would recommend one of two methods. The method that I used in the performance here is I actually did a riffle shuffle, right? I want to make sure the top card stays on top after the riffle. And then when I'm bridging the cards together, I turn them face up horizontally towards me. And then as I'm doing the riffle, you can kind of see that the 4 is protruding out here. I square everything up and I get a glimpse of my 4 that way. If you're not comfortable doing that, another thing you can do is the overhand shuffle. So you can, let's say this card's on the bottom. You can take a glimpse of the bottom card as you know, taking the cards out of the tuck case. give it an overhand shuffle, and in this way, peel off cards until you have just the one remaining, throw that on top, and you'll know the top card is the 4 of spades. So either method you want to choose, or if you, before you even do the card trick, if you just take a look at the top card beforehand, that works as well. Any of these methods work perfectly fine. So now you know the top card, 4 of spades. That's the only card you need to memorize for this entire routine. Once this card is memorized, then you hand this deck over to the spectator. Again, that card's on top. And you tell the spectator, you know what? You're going to do the card trick for me. I want you to see what it feels like to be in my shoes. So we take these cards, you ask them to have you select a card. They could do that in any way, but generally just have them spread out the cards and then you pick a card. Now when you take this card out, you kind of want to be a bit more guarded so no one else sees what the card is around you if you have multiple people in the room, which by the way, this works best with multiple people in the room. You want to be very guarded about your card, and of course it's a 7 of clubs, but it really does not matter whatsoever. You say, okay, I got my card. Then you tell them to ask you to put it back in the deck and lose it. So that's exactly what you do. Then have them square up the deck. The next instruction you should give them, just to make it a bit more fun, is, okay, get my card out. And they're gonna be like, what are you talking about? What do you mean? Real quick, after the 7 of clubs that no one cares about is inserted into the center of the deck, I like to ask the spectator if I can shuffle the deck up. Most of the time they're gonna say yes because they don't know where the card is anyway. So all you have to do when you shuffle, you want to maintain the top card where it is. Again, that's 4 of spades that's on top. So I like to do an overhand controlled shuffle where I toss over a packet of, let's say, 5 to 15 cards. Then I in-jog this card with my thumb like this, and then you can see it sticking out down here. Continue doing the overhand shuffle. Once all these cards have been exhausted from my dominant hand, I push down and forward, creating a break like this. Then I continue overhand shuffling until I get to my break, and then at the break I toss the rest of the cards over, maintaining the 4 of spades right back on top. So that's one thing I like to add after the card is inserted. So now you can say, all right, don't worry about it, let me help you out. Ask one of the other spectators in the room to name a number between 10 and 20. So they ask someone else, let's just say they say the number 15. So now what's going to happen, your card's on top, they're going to deal off 15 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. So now your card is 15th from the top, right? So 15th card here. You have them flip over the next card, not the 15th card, the next card, and they take a look at it. Of course, it's a blank card. And they take a look at it, it's a 4 of clubs. You're like, Mike, well, and before they even do this, by the way, after they deal the 15 cards, you say, my card was the, whatever your key card was, the 4 of spades. You say, my card was the 4 of spades. And then they flip it over, and then it's a 4 of clubs. You'd be like, okay, well, it was close to my card, right? And again, you've already told them your card was 4 of spades. That's close to my card, but how about we try that again? So they turn this back face down on here, take this packet, put it back on top. So now the card is 15th from the top. Then you ask them, okay, let's try this again, but let's raise the stakes, let's raise the numbers. Let's say between 20 and 30. Let's just say someone says the number 22. So now they deal 22 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. This again is your selected card. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So this puts your card in the 8th position from the top, which is crazy how math works. It's very simple, but it's amazing how math works. Then you tell them to take a look at the next card, and maybe that's your card, and it's a 5 of spades. It's crazy how these numbers are very close to the 4 of spades. So you're like, all right, well, you got the 4 of clubs, you got the 5 of spades, you're right there, you're so close, but I think it's time for me to take over. So now you can flip that, you instruct them to flip this back, take this whole pile and put it back. From here, there are a couple ways to go about this, right? I kind of enjoy taking the deck back and giving it a shuffle, just for people who are thinking like, oh, there could be something going on with the dealing and whatnot. I like to give it a shuffle or a false cut at least. And my favorite false cuts to do, by the way, is I take this deck in a biddle grip in my right hand, cut over about a third of the deck. This is a swing cut here. Cut over about a third of the deck with your index finger, pull it back and to the side. You take it here, again, back to the side. You put it here, but above your pinky finger, so you have a pinky break like this. This pile goes down here. You take this packet, this goes down, and this goes down. Retaining the order perfectly, but up to speed, it looks quite believable. So now again, you take the deck back and you tell the spectator, let me try this. What's the difference between 15 and 23? They're gonna say, or sorry, 15 and it was 22, 15 and 22. They say 7. So you deal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. and then you say take a look at the next card, and it's your selected card. The 4 of spades. Boom. Right? Boom. So simple. Just make sure you work on your performance pattern before actually going out and doing it, because that'll make a huge difference. For more self-working stuff, you can click on this video right here because I think you'll enjoy it. A big thank you to all my patrons, and thank you, love you, see you soon.